Hi there, welcome to the CyberHut TV. My name is Simon Moffat. I'm founder and analyst at the CyberHut, and as part of our vendor introduction series, we bring together all of the exciting supplier-side technology in the global identity security industry and ask them three very important questions around who they are and what are the problems they're trying to solve. And I'm absolutely thrilled to have Wade Ellery from Radiant Logic with me. Wade, how are we doing?
I'm doing really well, Simon. Thank you for having us.
Not at all. I appreciate taking some time out from the busy world of building software solutions and all the stuff that entails. So I absolutely appreciate taking a bit of time out. And the way this works, for those who've not seen it before, we have three simple questions we ask the solution provider. We start off with question number one, which is essentially, what is the problem that Radiant Logic is trying to solve? Wade, over to you.
Well, thank you, Simon. What we've found is, and this is over 20 years of working with our customers, very large organizations with very complex environments, is that every application that works in the identity management space needs identity data to function. Access management, governance, PAM platforms. And as we're moving into zero trust, the whole idea of policy engines, those are all driven by having accurate identity data. The problem is that's not readily available in most organizations. If you're of any size and complexity, your identity data is scattered from many sources. There's not an easy way to correlate that identity data together to find a single individual as he spans all those endpoints. And that data is not easily presented to the consuming applications in a way that makes it easy for them to use that. And as things change, it just adds more stress to the environment and more things break down. So that's the challenge we have, is how do you get identity data actually usable in the organization in an effective way?
I love that. And I guess as identity is becoming more important, it's driving employee success, partner success, customers, consumers. Getting that identity data right is a big concern. And I guess the second part of the questioning really is, why is this becoming a problem now? What's changed?
Well, I think a couple of things have happened. One, the C-suite is starting to recognize that identity data is critical to their success. For a long time, business focused on business function and sort of ignored identity. It was kind of like the pipes in the wall. They assumed it worked and they didn't pay much attention to it. But as you look at the challenges they have with breaches, you look at the ability they have to now support a remote workforce, all of a sudden, the fact that identity data is critical to all these functions becomes very apparent in the organization. So organizations and companies are realizing now they have to address their identity challenge, but for a long time, they've let identity debt build up. They've let their infrastructure sort of atrophy to some degree. There's a lot of bad data in the system. There's a lot of inconsistencies. And as they try and now move to a more modern cloud-based infrastructure and be more agile, they're constrained by all this weight that they're carrying around. So they really need to be able to address identity in a very powerful way and flexible way so the business can be re-enabled and the security level can be increased.
I love the concept of identity debt. That's such a tangible thing, isn't it? It's that debt which it's holding the business back. It sounds like it. They're not able to, I guess, be agile and consume all of those exciting, as you say, cloud services, SaaS services, and other third-party apps. And yeah, that's a real. I like that, the identity debt. That's a real tangible problem for sure. And I guess wrapping this up, why Radiant Logic? Why are you guys best placed? What's your secret sauce?
Well, we have a really powerful platform. Again, we've been developing over 20 years. So this is an out-of-the-box, mouse-driven, command line-driven platform that gives you immediate value. It's not a scaffolding that your people will develop code for 10 years to try and get it to work. This is ready out of the box to go. So initially, you're able to get value immediately, which is an excellent advantage in the marketplace. It also disconnects the identity data from the applications, so you can adjust and bring in acquisitions into the organization without disrupting your existing infrastructure. You can add in or replace components in your identity infrastructure, change out your IGA platform, and have one place to go to get the data instead of having to reconnect dozens of systems on the back end. And this gives you a common view of the data now that you can leverage for analytics and governance, and the ability to review this data and get a 360-degree view of the user. So now you have much more insight, much more ability to secure the environment, And going back to that challenge of identity debt, that ability to see the information, to find out where the holes are in the data, to recognize the anomalies and normalize that data at our layer makes that upgrade and that cleanup available to all the applications above it. So instead of doing the work 6 times for 6 different platforms, you do it once at our layer, leverage that over and over again. And as we move into a more attribute-driven world of access control, it becomes more and more critical that this information be highly available and highly accurate.
I love that. I think, as ever, it's the importance of the data itself, but then obviously all of the, I guess, economies of scale of centralization and the ability to pull together, as you say, all of those fragmented data sources, which they've just been scattered everywhere, aren't they? Scattered from homegrown systems, on premise, a bit of cloud here, but not fully. And I think that fragmentation is, I think that's a real issue many organizations have. But it sounds like you guys have that ability to pull that data into one platform and then obviously make it valuable. I think it sounds like to me, to make that data valuable to all of the consuming systems and rid us of this identity debt, which I think seems to be plaguing many organizations. Well, Wade, absolutely thank you so much for spending a little bit of time out of your day to give us the lowdown on that. This has been another episode on the vendor introduction series for the Cyber Hut. Wade Ellery from Radiant Logic, thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon.